my phone dies like right when I'm about to go live. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the 3 reasons why your launches, promos, whatever, sales, whatever you call them. And I say that because, coaching, we always talk about launches. And then my product folks, we always call it sales. Like I'm doing a Memorial Day sale, a Father's Day sale, a such and such sale, summer sale, birthday sale, all of these sales. And then other people call it promos, blah, blah, blah. Be clear that it's all the same thing. A launch is just doing it a lot longer than maybe a sale, and maybe adding some more pieces on the front. A promo, you're promoting while you're doing a sale or launch or whatever. So these 3 things, there are some slight differences. I'm not going to say they're exactly the same, but these 3 things I'm going to talk about is the reason why all of that you're doing, pretty much almost anytime you're trying to sell your products, these are the reasons why I keep seeing things fail over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm not even going to take you to, you got to listen to the end to get the whole story. I'm going to start right with what the 3 are. So the 3 things are your audience, your product, and your runway. Those are your 3 things. So if you're catching the replay and you're like, is this going to be what I think it is? The product, the audience, the product, and the runway. Let me break it down for you just a bit. So let's talk about the audience. A lot of what I do with SEO, with content creation, is all about audience building. I'm also going to tell you, and one of the reasons why I'm moving to Girl Get Visible to focus on that part is because so many people have not built their audiences. They have not. They may be in these Facebook groups. They may be on the Instagrams. They may be doing things where they think they're building an audience. But if you ask them how big is their email list, some of them don't even have MailChimp set up. And I'm not even a proponent of MailChimp, but at least have that set up. If you ask them how many followers they have, it's in the hundreds. And they're stressing, I got hundreds of people. No, it takes thousands, for real. After, if you listen to yesterday's live, I talked about getting a stale audience and exhausting your audience. So that hundreds might do well the first launch. And it's funny because listening to one person I follow, I'm going to almost say she's one of my mentors too, that I follow, and she was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and she told the story of her launches, and she told her first launch was a 5-figure launch for her course, or maybe even 6, but it was big. It was a huge launch. She didn't have a huge list. She had a couple of thousand. It was a huge launch. She was so excited. She thought she had it in the bag. She thought she was good. That, okay, she went to go launch again, and guess what her second launch was like? Anybody want to guess what her second launch was like? I see a couple folks on. Hey, guys. Her second launch was Cricketsville. And let me tell you, one of the reasons why her second launch was Cricketsville, hold on, my English doesn't give me an alert that I don't need right now. But the reason why her second launch was Cricketsville was because she had not built more to her audience. She was pretty much selling over and over and over again to the same exact audience and expecting the same exact results. And you know what happened? What happens with audiences? They start to, the people who were going to buy brought, the people who aren't going to buy go away. People move and change and do different things in their lives. And her second launch was crickets. So hey, Michelle, she really had to do a lot for her third launch to do a lot of audience building. And so I say this because I see a lot of people who don't do this audience building. They don't build the audience. They don't get the traffic. They aren't collecting the emails. They aren't entertaining and warming up the audience, even doing lives and stuff like this. They just aren't really cultivating their audience. And then when it's time for a launch, they wonder why they get crickets. No one is there. No one is ready. No one is listening to buy their products. And even if you might get real lucky the first time, and then they try to do it again and again and again without doing more audience building again and again and again. So every time you're thinking, I'm going to do something. So if you're thinking right now, I'm going to do a birthday sale. And if your birthday is in September, like my birthday is in September, then you need to spend your July and probably some of your August too, getting that audience. Making sure that you've got people to talk to that are ready to buy, that are warmed up for you in September. Because if you drop something right now, it's gonna fail. I'm just gonna be like real blunt. I usually try to give you guys the nice words, but I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. It's gonna fail. So make sure you guys are sharing this out. I see a couple people on. Chantel said mine too. Yes. Oh, that's where you're trying to go, Michelle. Yes, building the tribe, building the audience, and not just building them one time. We got to keep going back and building. Like, you got to make a cycle of these things. Got to make a cycle of these things. So don't just think I got my one group, I got my one people, I got my hundreds, I got my thousands. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done. There's no done. Actually, Michelle, we just talked about this even with keyword stuff. There's no done. There's doing a bit and doing the next thing and doing the next thing and doing a bit and then doing the next thing. The cycle, circle of life. Things have to keep being born, have to keep coming out, and new things need to keep happening. So that's the number one, audience. And that is probably one of the biggest things. No, the next one's pretty big. No, the third one's really big. They're all pretty big. But number one is the one I see the most. We can't even get to number two. So Michelle said, what's a good timeline? Really, it depends on when you are going to, when you're actually going to do the promotion. You know, you want to buffer in some time. So whether or not, if you've got months, yes, take a month. If you've got only days, then take a day, but take some time. And one of the things that I do, which is why we love SEO, is I'm continuously building my audience. The reason why I love SEO, and I think, I don't know if this is on my list to talk about how we get opt-ins and we just continue to get thousands of opt-ins, is because we're constantly collecting new people. I'm not creating new opt-ins. I got one that I've been literally for years, and people just keep wanting it and keep coming. Those are all new people. So I talked last night. If you did not listen to last night's live, go to last night live when I talked about flipping the dead ends. It's pretty much just that. So let's get into number two. Is the product. This is another doozy, y'all. And this is going to hurt, especially for my retailers. And I'll tell you why, especially for my retailers, it's going to hurt a little bit more. Because my retailers, we are a lot of passion business-based folks. Meaning you love something and you think the world's going to love it. And so you start selling it. You find the wholesalers. You start selling the clothes. You start whipping up butters. Like, we do a lot of things because we love them. And that is not how things should work. Yes, you should love it, but you should not be the only person who loves it. You should not be the only person who's told you that they love it. And when I say only person, your mom don't count, your friends don't, well, your best friend don't count, your husband sure as hell doesn't count. You know, you got to get some outside people. Do a lot of listening to your audience. If you guys ever listen to or hear the story, hear me talk about why I wrote the book. I did not write the book because I wanted to write a book. I did not write the book because I wanted to be an author. I don't even think I wanted to do any of those things if I really think about it. I wrote the book because people kept asking me for a book. People kept asking me for a book, need a book, got a book. And it was a thing. So we kind of met in the middle. Like, people wanted some other things. People wanted courses. I had a course. I like to teach it live, so I had some masterminds. And where we landed, where I didn't feel too stressed and people felt like they were getting what they wanted, was a book. So we kind of landed in the middle. But it wasn't just about creating products. Hey, Ty's on. So Ty, just in time, because Ty is one of the main people who told me for years I needed to write a book. But wrote a book not just because I wanted a book, not because I said this is going to be dope, it needs to be in a book, but because people kept telling me it should be in a book. When you're thinking of what your products are, and this is for every business, your service-based businesses. I just had a cleaning service, who I like, by the way, and I asked them for their pricing, their packages, and everything that they gave me was every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. And I'm like, I don't need you to come every 2 weeks. And so she can keep selling me every 2 weeks till she's blue in the face. She's not coming to my house every 2 weeks. I want monthly. So when you're thinking about, like I said, whether it's a product-based business, a service-based business, coaching business, listen to what people want. Listen to who your customers are. You can even do I bring you in with the things that you want. So like, okay, people wanted a book. I brought a book. I do not think I'm going to be a millionaire just from book sales. I might be close, but not a millionaire just from book sales. And from the book, I got what I like to do, which is the membership. And there are people who go from the book to the membership. And I think the book actually makes the membership better because we've all got a book. We all got a Bible in my membership to kind of go with, which I think is really a great way to have a membership. So it actually worked out. I get what I want, they get what they want. At the end, we're all going to get found in Google, which is like the end result, right? So think about that. Think about what are people telling you that they want. When you're reading in the groups and people keep asking, do you have a PDF for that? Do you have a PDF for that? Do you have a PDF for that? Why are you giving them an audio? Why are you going live when they're asking you for a PDF? Like, straight up, listen to your people. The easiest thing, and I always say with SEO especially, SEO is almost the most selfless thing because you don't just get to write what you want to write. You're not an author. You're not a blogger. You're not just writing for the fun of it. If you want to write for sales, if you want to write for people to follow you, become your customers, become your clients, you've got to write about what they want. So all of it's full circle. So that's number two. Number two, so number one, for those who are just joining us, and make sure you guys share out. If you have not shared out, share. If you have not liked Girl Get Visible, if you are here from a share, if you're new to me, thank you for coming. Make sure you like the page. This is our new page, Girl Get Visible. So like I said, so number one, the audience. Number two, the product, and the product, your sold product, the free product, everything you make should be based on what people want. Number three, now this is the biggie. And I say this is the biggie because this is what I see a lot of people doing. A lot of my people, a lot of my friends, a lot of us, yes, a lot of people doing, and we do it over and over and over again. And normally, when I'm working with someone, I don't even get to this stage. We're so stuck on 1 and 2. I told you guys that in the beginning, like they're all big, but we're so stuck on 1 and 2 and trying to get those fixed that we never even get to talk about number 3 real good. And when I do mention number 3, and if you've ever coached me, we're gonna do what you want to do. I want you to do it because I want you to feel it too. But it wasn't until I really got this that I understood the big difference. Number 3 is the runway. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the runway? Give me an emoji or a heart or something. I'm gonna drink while you guys give me something. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about when I say the runway. What's the runway? You guys familiar with the runway? I found this new water I like. This flow water. It's like I don't like those seltzer water thingies, but I like flavored water, and this is like a flat water that's flavored. It's really good. So I see only a couple people know what a runway is. So let's talk about what a runway is. So think about exactly what a runway is. When you see a plane taking off, it goes down a runway. It goes down, it starts slowly, it builds up before it takes off. That is exactly what a runway is. That is exactly what you should be doing in your marketing. You should not be waking up and talking about a sale the first time you're going to have the sale on the day that you decide to have it. Like, how many times do you get hey, it's my birthday, I'm deciding to put everything on sale, and you heard nothing from those people for the last 3 months? Or you've heard nothing at all, like you don't know anything about the sale, you barely know about the products, and now here it is their birthday, and they're like, oh, come buy my stuff. They should have been sharing testimonials with you. They should have been sharing ways to use their products with you. They should have been sharing you the success stories that they've had and that people are doing. They should have been showing you mixing up the butters, if they got butters, and putting it on the elbows, and my elbow might need butter, so okay, don't judge me. They should have been showing you all of this stuff, wearing the outfit, all of these things. You know, coaches, you guys should have been talking about, I'm getting on a call with somebody. So I even know that you actually do coach. Like, cause you know, a lot of coaches don't ever seem to have calls, and that means they're not really coaching. But you should be talking about these things way before your birthday sale, way before the Father's Day sale, especially if you know you need shipping done. Way before, but essentially, Michelle, you do have to walk the runway. You know, it's the same thing even to walk the runway. You get down to the end and you start doing all the turning and twirling and doing all the great stuff. You don't stop in the middle, or you don't just show somebody come out on the stage and then walk back behind the curtain. When we're doing a fashion runway, they walk. They actually take some time to get it out there, and then they continue going back. But we don't do that. What we do is we say, it's my birthday, here's a sale. It's my, such and such, I'm launching. Like, we give people weeks notice. I'm launching tomorrow. This is coming, I'm launching. And we don't have a runway. We don't have anything to kind of prep people that this is coming. We don't have anything to get excited to tell people that this is coming. I actually have one of the things on my list. I will be talking about radio station concerts. That's a whole nother thing. But if you think about a movie, think about all of, even Black Panther. We all love Black Panther. Who didn't see Black Panther, right? We all love Black Panther. We all love the Avengers, all these other movies. They don't just drop on Friday and tell you to come see them. They are showing that preview in movies before it happens, a year before it actually comes out. Next spring, 2019, this is coming. So you already know and start building the buzz. They are putting little toys in the Targets and the Walmarts way before the actual movie comes out. So kids can already start to see these type of things. They are buying Super Bowl commercials that only happens once a year for something that's not going to happen to the summertime. They are doing all of these things to create the runway, because they don't want to open up. And every movie that flops, or most movies that flop, because sometimes they have good runway and they still flop. That's a product problem. But every movie that flops is movies you just heard. Connection. Let's hope this comes back. We might be, something might have broke. Sorry guys. Oh man, the universe did not want me to give you any more. Let me try shutting this down. That make that any better? Nope. Let me try. Let me know if you guys can see me. I don't know. Let me close this door and that door. You guys know I'm the queen of tabs open. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. But if you can, I'm trying to close tabs for you. Let's close this one and this one. Nope, still not back. Oh man, we were doing so well. All right. Oh, okay. So it's still telling me it's trying to reconnect. Apparently you guys can hear me talking to myself, which apparently I have no problem doing. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to hope Facebook is getting half of this. I hope you guys, so make sure you interact with me, because I don't know if it's still working. Okay, because it keeps telling me it's trying to reconnect. So like I was saying about the runway, is that anything that's worth anything is giving you a runway. It is preparing people for what's coming. It's getting people excited about what's coming. Like, even if a new restaurant, we've got a whole mall being built in New Jersey. If anybody lives in Jersey, you know about Xanadu, right? So they're now once again trying to rebuild Xanadu. They have had us waiting for something to show up in the same location called Xanadu. You guys can Google it. Or it was called Xanadu. I don't know what's the new thing. But we've been waiting for this for 10 years now. That thing is going to be packed if it ever opens in life. But it's because they've gotten us excited. They've currently got a big Nickelodeon sign hanging on the building, and we're just waiting. Even my son's like, oh, I see SpongeBob, waiting for it. So think about that with your products. Think about that with your promotions. You can't just come out and say it's my thing, I'm gonna buy it. I will tell you. So I told you guys that Stu McLaren is one of my mentors. I've been with him since his original tribe. And Stu, I'm going to say he had almost a lifetime on runway. I knew who he was because I knew some of his other work. I knew his name from when he worked with Michael Hyatt and a bunch of other people. And when I saw him start showing up on podcasts, I didn't even know if he did not have a program at the time, so I had no idea what was coming. When I saw him start showing up on podcasts, I knew he was up to something, that something was happening. He started showing up on podcasts. Then he probably had something to opt in. So he started collecting email addresses and all that other good stuff, you know, collecting his audience, something we talked about in the beginning. Then he started with doing some webinars and some videos, and I was on everything. And I was already so primed. All I could think was, please let this be in my price range. Like, for real. Like, please let me have it in the bank for whatever he drops, whenever he drops it. And so, and he continued on. He probably went a couple of months, and I'm like, okay, great, I'm ready. And then finally he dropped. And when he dropped, I think that was his 7-figure launch. I think it was one of his first 7-figure launches. If not, it was high 6-figure. And not because he just came out with it one day. Even my book, I was promoting this book way before September. The reason why I did Kickstarter, if you guys have not seen Stu McLaren, so let me put his name here. You guys should follow him. Especially if you're into memberships, follow Stu. I will actually also put the link here too of my podcast episode on why I did Kickstarter for my book. One of the main reasons why I did Kickstarter for my book did not actually hit the shelves until, well, it didn't hit the shelves till March of 2019. It didn't hit people until February 2019. I did the Kickstarter, and I was talking about it way before then, but I did the Kickstarter in September of 2018. And the reason why I did the Kickstarter wasn't just to sell books, but it was to create this runway. It was to build this buzz. It was to get people talking about the book that was going to come out. And then we continued to talk about it from September until February when the book dropped. So you guys see what I'm talking about here? You guys see how you don't just come out with a promotion. If today, and I'm talking about promotions and big promotions, but even a site launch. You know how many times people tell me, I'll share the site name when I get my website up, or I'm not going to get a Facebook page till I get my website. And I just look, because I try not to sideline coach people. I do. Sometimes I just look like, that's a bad idea. That is a really bad idea. Don't wait until you're right about to drop to actually start talking about them. If you're launching a business, if you don't have your business yet on here, do it now. If you are launching a blog, and I'm side-eyeing because I know someone on here is about to launch their blog, do it now. Get an article or 3 out. Don't wait until you're ready for it to happen, because that's why people launch the crickets. That's why when people have sales, for whatever holiday, and they're wondering why no one brought from them, the deal was so good, they made everything 50, 60, 70% off, and no one cared. No one cared because no one knew it was coming. And they'd already thought about what they were going to buy. They'd already pre-allocated their money. They just weren't interested because no one knew it was coming. So those are the 3 things. Those are the 3. It's almost crazy that it's only 3 things that are killing so many people when they're launching and doing sales, promos, whatever they're doing. So your 3 things are your audience. So either you don't have people to care. So it's your audience. Your product is your second thing. Either you're probably giving them things they don't care about. The product is super important. You can't just put up whatever you want to. Listen to your people. Or it's your runway. They don't know it's coming. They have no idea what you're about to drop, when you're about to drop. They're not even excited about it. They've already allocated their funds. Like, believe, and I know it's funny because, one more analogy. People always talk about, I did not name names, and I'm still not gonna name names for people who are listening to the replay and not reading the comments. I'm not naming names, but people always talk about Marie Forleo and how Marie Forleo launches like right around tax return time. No, Marie Forleo can do it. I can do it too. You know why Marie Forleo can do it? Because Marie Forleo builds the biggest runway. That whole Marie TV, and if you notice, the Marie TV episodes start getting a lot more buzz. Like right now, nobody's really talking about Marie TV. Next year, right around end of December, January, she will drop some bomb episodes. She will put a little bit of marketing behind them, and people will all of a sudden start talking about Marie TV again. Like all of a sudden, something will come out that'll be like, oh, this is dope. And then, so she starts dropping the episodes, so now you start remembering who she is and seeing who she is. If you never knew who she is, look at her. And then her affiliates start hitting you. Because the runway, so think about the plane I was talking about, it doesn't just go kind of slow, boom. It goes up. It goes faster, 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 faster before it takes off. So there are even stages to this runway game thing. So, you go from the Marie TV to now you go to the affiliates, the podcast. When you see a lot of people being on different podcasts, know that something's about to drop. Something's happening. Just know that it's happening. They get on the podcast. They start getting all their affiliates. Now other people are talking about them. They're building all this big buzz. Then they give you something really good for free. So they give you like a webinar or a PDF or something that's like, yeah, you got to see this thing. And then boom, then the product opens. By then their audience is like literally halfway in the air. Just can't wait to take off. And that's exactly what they do. They take off with their wallets. They take off with their credit cards. They take off with their PayPal. They take off and they buy and they give and they come into their program. So when you're wondering why are people being such a success, why are people so much out there and I'm not getting, that same traction, look at their runway. Look at, Supercent. I know we're not talking a lot about her because she's sick, but look at what she did. Look at Fashion Nova. Look at Cardi B. Look at all of them. Any person that you follow that you're thinking, why can't I? Look back at their runway. So that was my thing for tonight. I'm like I said, I hope this thing is going because I'm still trying to reconnect. But you guys told me it's going, so I'm gonna believe that. Believe it's happening. Believe you got this message, and I'm gonna believe it helped you. I'm gonna believe that somebody's walking away from here and saying, I need to get my audience together. And so, like I said, make sure you follow the page so we can fix it because we are really focused on getting you visible, getting your audience, getting you out there. We will talk a little bit about your products, and that's what we do on Online Boutique Stores. That's why it's an expansion of the brand, not just the brand going away, because we're not going to forget making sure that your products are things that people want. And, of course, we're going to talk about building your runway and the types of content that are going to get you from here coasting to there up in the air. All right? So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye, guys.